Hi guys, and today I've got the 2019 Vauxhall Astra. Now this is the SRI, which is a 1.4 turbo, puts out 145 brake horsepower, but this is actually a 3-cylinder petrol engine and it's mated to a CVT gearbox, of course driving the front wheels on this car. Now it also has 236 Newton meters of torque and it's good enough to give it a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 9 seconds dead with a top speed of 130 miles per hour. It does about 48 miles per gallon combined cycle, so that's not too bad, and if you're interested, CO2 is 112 grams per kilometer. Now this is sort of upper mid-level I think petrol in the range, and it comes very well equipped. I mean, this car on the road price is $25,635 and it comes with a ton of kit. Of course, it's got the navigation system, it's got 7-inch color touchscreen in there, digital radio, DAB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 6 speakers, aircon. It's got sports style front seats, trip computer, driver's ergonomic active seat. Not sure about that, but that's what it's got. Front center armrest, storage pockets on the seat backs, cruise control with a speed limiter, steering wheel controls, got 18-inch alloy. It's quite nice on this one actually. LED headlights, front fog lights, tinted rear windows, rain sensitive wipers, automatic lighting, automatic dazzle rear view mirror, so it's got that remote central locking, electrically operated front and rear windows and door mirrors. There's a driver assistance pack, so lane keep assist, ESP, ABS, 6 airbags, hill start assist, isofix child seat anchor points, and remote central locking as well. This one has got some options on it. So it's got a spare wheel, a space saver spare wheel. It's got emergency call, front and rear parking sensors, climate pack. So it also gets a heated windscreen, and I think that includes, because this car definitely has heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which is quite nice in this weather, I gotta say. Traffic light recognition and pedestrian protection. So there you go. And then this paint here is flip chip silver premium paint, £655. Try saying that with your mouth full. So the thing about this car, okay, it's an SRI, it's got a little bit of sporting pretension, but the main thing about an Astra is that it needs to be a practical family hatchback. So let's check that, and of course as usual, let's start with the boot. So let's check out the boot, and as you'd expect from an Astra, it's reasonably spacious. I mean, that's plenty of room in there. Not a lot under the floor, just that's where the extra spare wheel is. I suppose if you delete the spare wheel, you have a little bit more space, but you do have a little few hiding slots and stuff to keep extra stuff in there. But I like this sort of floor surface, quite grippy, so things don't fly around in the back as they often tend to do. And of course, you have split folding rear seats. So if I can just reach across there and show you, yeah, it folds reasonably flat and gives you quite a good amount of space. So very practical as far as cargo space is concerned. What about the back seats? Oh, here we go in the back of the Astra, and I do like the design of these seats. That's really nicely done. There's not a lot back here. There's no vents, there's no USBs. Why aren't manufacturers putting USBs in the back of their cars? Don't they have children? They need to have USBs. They do have pockets here. But the good thing about, and there's no center armrest either, but the good thing about this car is that I'm 6'2", this driver's seat is set for my driving position, and as you can see, I've got knee room to spare. The seat has been scooped out, but I don't need it. I got plenty of room. I got wiggle room for my feet, good elbow room, headroom plentiful. So in terms of space and actually comfort, it's really nice back here. Wonder what the front is like. Here we are in the front of the Astra, and what a nice place it is. Well, let's start it up so I can show you what the dials and everything looks like on this one. Normal key. No starter button. And there you go. So there's a digital dial in the middle there. There's 2 regular dials on each side. Now the digital dial, if you can make it out, is operated by this stalk here, and then you've got different things that you can go, and you can go through all the ecosystem. So it's quite up on telling you how well you're driving in terms of economy and all the rest of it. And then this is where your trip computer, it's got a timer. You're going to do time, you going to do laps in this or what? It's probably like how quickly you can get to the shops or back or whatever. Anyway, this is mine. 44.3 miles per gallon I've been getting. That includes some motorway miles as well, so not too bad at all. The speedometer is right there in the middle. That's quite handy. You've got your stereo controls on this side, and you've got your cruise control, so it's got a speed limiter as well. You can set a speed limit. That's quite handy. Automatic lights on this side. There is a useful box here as well, like a coin box and stuff like that. Electric mirrors. I figured out what those adaptive driver seats are, and I like it because this one, not this one, but this one has got this adjustable seat base, so it comes out a bit further, a bit more support for your thighs here. That's quite handy. That's your touchscreen, and it's pretty straightforward. There's your home, and you can do all the settings and stuff. I've been using Apple CarPlay on here, so you can get all your Google Maps or your Waze and all the rest of it, and your Spotify and all that, so that's quite good. The stereo on here, when mated to your phone, not so much on the radio pickup, but when mated to your phone, sounds fantastic. It's a really, really good stereo. I've had it up really loud, and it's been very entertaining. But there's your controls, there's your hazard button, there is your climate control. Like I said, heated steering on this one, and heated seats as well. The heated steering works very well indeed. Then there's a little tray here. Then there's your CVT transmission lever. So you can do step changes as well. That's why they call it a step change. So if you put it across there, you can go up and down, and that comes up on the dashboard there. Normal handbrake, which is nice. I always like those. And then there is a well, there used to be a cigarette lighter. It's a power supply there. Two little cup holders here, and a cubby box, and in the cubby box there is one USB, just the one USB, but I suppose you have that, so you can put more in there, so you could put an adapter in and get a few more. Now it's quite nicely done, quite very, very neat, and as you'd expect, the design motif of the rear seats obviously is carried through onto the front. Matches my coat, doesn't it? And it's a very comfortable place to be. No sunroof on this one. I'm sure you could spec it. But, you know, all-round visibility is not too bad. It's a relatively easy car to place. It can feel a little dark in here because this line, especially at the back, goes up quite a bit, so you're quite enclosed into it. So maybe having the sunroof might be a good idea if you feel like you need a little bit more light and more spacious feeling inside the car. Otherwise, it's fairly good, not an issue at all. No reversing camera on it, but it does have reversing sensors. The only thing I would say about this center console is, as you can see, there isn't really anywhere to put your phone, so once you've plugged it in here, I have to just leave it in there, and it's just sort of rattling around. There's no tray or anything here that I could use to put it, so that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. There needs to be something there. So other than that, all pretty good. Time to take it for a little drive. Okay, so let's take it for a little bit of a run. So I mean, you might think that on paper that 0 to 60 time seems a bit slow, but over here, I mean, I gotta say, not an issue at all. No, in the real world, it's got plentiful performance. Now, I've been driving this on the motorway a bit. Took it for a bit of a long run in the rain and stuff. It was very stable, very secure, very solid, very easy car to cruise in. Very easy car to cruise in. Cruise control really helps. No issues whatsoever. Fuel economy pretty good as well. Like I said, I've indicated 40 something I've been getting. Steering is very light. There's no sports mode or anything like that. Oh, I should have secured my bag, shouldn't I? There's no sports mode or anything like that in this car. But the steering is quite light, so not a lot of feel, very light. But I think it's very much geared up for ease of driving. It responds pretty well. It's fairly accurate. The car is pretty stable. It's pretty secure. The main thing about it is that it's easy to drive. The ride, as you can see, it's a little bit, it picks up a few ridges and bumps on the road. Overall, though, it's quite comfortable. It does that very well damp stuff. So even when it does encounter a bump or a pothole or ridge, you will feel it, you will hear it, but it will kind of damp it. So it will kind of try to smother it a little bit and just kind of absorb, the jarring aspect of it. So overall, the ride is just as you would expect it to be, and I think that's the main thing about this car, despite the SRI badge and stuff like that. This is not a sports hatch. This is actually a very comfy, very practical, very sensible, everyday hatch for you and your family. And I think that if that's the sort of car you're looking for, then this is definitely one that's worth putting on your shopping list, having a look and considering. All around, I've really enjoyed driving it. It's been a really good car to have. It's one of those cars where you just jump in and out of it. You do chores, you need to go here, you need to go here, just quickly jump in, drive off, come back. It's that sort of car. So it's a great everyday car. So there you go. There's our review of the Astra, the updated actually 2019 Astra. Let us know what you thought of the car, the review, me, anything else you'd like to talk about in the comments above, below, elsewhere. Thanks so much for watching, and see you at the next one.